Hey everyone, I'm Paul Muscally Warren, living in the city of Cleveland, the state of Cleveland, the United States of Cleveland, and we got a movie sign! Pancakes. We got a movie sign! Pancakes. Oh, there is pancakes in this. Damn it. There's pancakes in this film, but that's later. How happened? Don't mind me, folks. Hold on, we're still there? Okay, we're still there. See how well we're doing. I think we're doing fine. Yeah. So today I'm going to be reviewing. I was going to review Space Jam, but I say review one of my other favorite basketball films, Semi-Pro, starring Will Ferrell, Woody Harrelson, Andre 3000, and Andy Richter's in it too, as well as Christian Wick. And it's about a fictional American Basketball Association team called the Flint Tropics. And this was just before the merger of the ABA and the NBA around 1976. Will Ferrell plays... What the hell's that? Will Ferrell plays Jackie Moon, and, he had a hit song called Do You Want to Love Me Sexy? Take off your shoes and eat me sexy. Let's get in the bed and fuck me sexy. Okay, yeah. So that's the concept of the film. Jackie Moon owns, plays, and manages and coaches the Flint Tropics. For some weird reason, I think about the Cleveland cast. Oh, and by the way, this is for the Milwaukee Bucks, who won it all the way, and why not? Because Flint's not too far from Milwaukee. I know it's in Michigan. Boo! And Flint is kind of going through hard times. As a matter of fact, Mexican water tastes better than Michigan swill. And this is since Saturday Night Live and 70s, like Lake Erie was like the place to get your swill water, but now it's Flint, Michigan. That's damn lighting. Okay, so now we have so you see him play against the New York Nets, and the Tropics are wondering where Clarence Downtown Malone is, played by Andre 3000. I'm Andre 3000. So, but mother says he's late for his basketball game, so he takes the food truck to the arena. Malone arrives and he starts to play basketball, and during the halftime show, there's some guy eating nachos from home. It's like, hey, you can't do that. I'll toss your nachos. Buy the nachos next time. Well, hey, the homemade nachos taste better than the other nachos. Cheese whiz, some little bit of chili powder, and lime. There you go. Nacho cheese sauce. So, during the halftime performance, there's a topless guy named Duke, the hippie guy. He throws a throw around halfway and makes it and gets a prize of $10,000. But we don't have $10,000. Yeah, that's what Jake... for some weird reason, I just think of Ted Steifen when he had the Cleveland Cavs, or at that point, the Cleveland Cants. C-A-N-T-S. So, maybe that's where they got it from. So, the same night, Jackie Moon enters at his club, and they're playing Love Me Sexy for the 5th time. Jackie lets his wife, Stacy, go and have all these debauchery affairs or what have you. So, the team realizes that the American Basketball Association is in jeopardy and is going to end by the end of 76 after the season. But Jackie was excited because he's planning on having the Flint Tropics in the NBA next year. And so he's excited for the merger, and then he goes to the headquarters. I don't know. I think they're in Indianapolis. They were in Indianapolis. So he goes in and says that this is going to be awesome. We're going to have at the Flint Tropics in the NBA. However, he throws a hissy fit when when only half the teams are going to go in there. Like the New York Nets are already in there, which would later become the New Jersey Nets and now the Brooklyn Nets. The Indiana Pacers, which would be the team to beat, they were in there. San Antonio Spurs, which is starting to get a good fan base at the time, and the Denver Nuggets. Other cities like the other four, not just Flint Tropics, but Kentucky Colonels almost would have had a NBA team, but unfortunately legal issues occurred, and so no Kentucky Colonels. And today they probably won't, that name won't fly because everyone will think Colonel like, I'm big rock out with a big rock stash. I'm Colonel, yeah. Or Colonel Sanders. Hey, let's have some KFC here. I don't know. The Anaheim Amigos, because the Lakers were almost ready to move, but at that time, but I don't know. But they just wanted to have one team at the time. So the Amigos would have had to go. St. Louis Spirits, or Spirits of St. Louis, they were not doing too well, so they were almost going to go to Utah, but those plans fell apart. And the Virginia Squires, they were likely outdoor at the time anyhow. But, yeah, those other happened. That would have been an interesting concept. But maybe one day those will be the four cities that may get in that NBA team. St. Louis Spirits, the Virginia Squires, they could keep that name. Maybe not Anaheim Amigos, they might not, because there's already two teams, but maybe San Diego San Diego Sales, not Conquistadors, because, not too good of a name. But it would be interesting to play the song by Procol Harum, the symphonic version, because that's a good one. But yeah, so Moon thought, why not the four best teams in the American Basketball Association? And this is where he trades the Tropics washing machine for Ed Moxie or something like it. He's played by Woody Harrelson. Ted Steiffen would have probably done that too. Probably would have traded all his players for a washing machine. I got a washing machine, guys. So I'm going to throw baseballs on top of Tower City. I don't know why I made it sound like Peter Griffin, but so Kyle and Lynn are watching Tropics Weekly by the two commentators. One guy's named Dick, and the other guy's named Dick, who's like the straight guy in there, as well as I'm sorry, I have to check this up, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna check this out a little bit, but I will have to say that it's gonna be on. I don't want. Damn. Come on, here we go. But yeah, who's more a tyranny? I don't know. But Demon's phone. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. The commentators So, Tropics Weekly with his Dick Pepperfield and Lou Redwood. Interesting names. So, Dick and Lou, or Lou and Dick. I don't know. So, yeah, they are on Tropics Weekly. Kyle and Lynn are watching, and Lynn wonders why, and they were both wondering why Ed would come back to from Kentucky to Flint. Kyle's a little excited because Ed's an NBA player as well, is an NBA player, but Ed tries to mend the bridges with Lynn because they both dated at one time. So Jackie and his friends are playing cards with Malone, who's in an arm cast, and Malone calls Lou a jive turkey. You jive turkey. But Lou pulls out his revolver, and they wind up playing Russian roulette. But there was one bullet. Oh, one bullet left. So, but Cornelius gets the bullet, and but he doesn't feel it because broken arm. Yeah, that can never fly today. A lot of things can't fly today. Excuse me. So, on Team Bus, Jackie, Bob, and Bobby D. Bobby D's played by Andy Richter. They're singing, "Show people got, show people." Yeah, Mark, if you're watching this right now, I know you're not, you're working, but I got another karaoke song for you to do. "Short People" by Randy Newman. And then the players will look at Ed because he was on the Boston Celtics. So Stacy and then Stacy comes by and she's like flashing her boobs to the Tropics. It's like Ed is like, there, I don't care. So yeah, well, but Ed shows the NBA ring, but Clarence says Ed should be embarrassed. He sat on the bench the whole playoffs. Ed was a little flustered about it, but So at the game during the St. Louis Spirits of St. Louis, Jackie yells at the referee because he was traveling. So Father Pat, who's a referee, rejects him off the game, and so Jackie throws a basketball across the arena. Someone's getting a basketball tonight. So once the referee insulted Jack's mother, it's like, maybe she went to hell. What'd you think about that? So the gloves come off, and Jackie decides to so Jackie and the Flint Tropics forfeit the game. Dukes tells Jackie that no bank will take his giant $10 check. He's like, why don't you try another bank? A bank that accepts big checks. But man, it's written in glitter. They won't accept it. No. Yeah. But the Tropics are playing Pong, and Jackie says, oh, we're going to be on television, but we need 2,000 people every game. And now that's a challenge because Flint, Michigan, it's like, yeah, it's not much of a city for a market. And that was around time when Flint was like dwindling. Flint is basically the youngest town of Michigan, if you consider it. So, someone else came from Flint. More. I want more food. Feed me. Get in my belly. Eat Republican. Get on my belly. I'll eat Republican. Okay, that's my Michael Moore because he wants more. So, okay, yeah, but so because the game is televised. The Tropics game nationally televised. The Flint Tropics decide to put on mascara, and they play against the Anaheim Amigos, and it backfires real really bad because Ed Monix. But the only one who could actually play was Ed Monix because he didn't wear the mascara. He didn't need it. And he starts fighting with the player on Amigos, and then the whole team starts the fight, and they just said timeout, so Shasta commercial could be played, and then Why Can't We Be Friends by War is playing, and then they're all fighting, and just like Dick bangs somebody with a telephone. That is now that concept right there. I was talking about cartoons earlier. That is actually that was actually used in those types of cartoons during the 40s and 50s, like when a fight comes around, like some guy would just, like the commentator would just bash somebody with something. But I do encourage this film. I know it's not like the best basketball film out there, but it's but I do like this film. I encourage you to watch it. It's on a Turner station right now or soon. Watch it, like it, stream it, just like our show. Because we have other shows that's happening this week. So click the like, click subscribe, get notified. Oh, wait a minute! Will Ferrell did the cowbell guy. I have a fever, and the fever is more cowbell. Don't Fear the Reaper by do. Okay, I'm spanking the bad cowbell. Well, so they're one halftime. Jackie brings along Stacy to do a little striptease, and then Ed Monix informs, you don't need this. You need to practice. Practice. And Cornelius eggs him because you were just a bench warmer throughout the whole top playoff. So Ed gives Cornelius his championship ring. And Monix, who was very angry, storms out and accidentally kicks a squad car window and finds himself in jail. Moxie is bailed out by Lynn, and he feels like a total failure for cheating on her as well as not being in the playoffs. But Lynn would encourage Moxie because she did help. Because Monix, his name is Monix. Ed Monix actually helped the team during the practice rounds in basketball, because they always have to play second string during the practice modes. Even in baseball and football and hockey, same thing. So, so Monix decides to coach the Tropics, but Jackie has to be a little snowflake. I want to be on the team. Okay, Jackie, I'll be the coordinator then, both offense and defense. And so he said, we're going to practice till we puke. And literally, the team starts puking. And even Jackie Moon says, I can't puke, not even when I was a kid. So Ed Monix does this. Yeah. 2000s gross out humor. Somewhat. So that evening, the Flint Tropics are in their A game, and they're playing against New York Nets again. And Jackie Moon decides we can win, but we can't win too much, because if we win 125 points, we got to give everyone corn dogs. 2,000 plus corn dogs? No, we don't have that much corn dogs. So the Tropics get 126 points. They win, and Jackie gets upset again. I'm starting to think Jackie Moon's kind of like it's like somebody I knew, my ex-pastor from Michigan. And no, not Jim Baker, but I slam him a lot because not only he's a Evangel EKL, but he's from Michigan. Look him up. Another fat bastard. So, yeah, then. So after the next few games, the Flint Tropics become a competitive team. And one night, Monix meets up with Lynn, and he proposes her, thinking that she can come back to his life again, because he wants to win her. And he also asks Kyle to step out. But Kyle sees Lynn and Ed having sex. Kyle's watching, and Ed is angry about it, because you would be too if you're banging somebody. What the? So Ed leaves, and then soon Jackie moves doing more stunts. Bobby tells Jackie they need 2,000 people this time, so the commissioners can guarantee that there's 2,000 plus people in the audience. That's how it goes sometimes. I wonder if there's a way Cleveland can get the Monsters to be a NHL team. Maybe if the Blue Jackets keep blowing it, because they are, unfortunately. And as big as Columbus is, it's mostly a college town. Just like Jacksonville and Indianapolis. They should have went with football or basketball for Columbus, Ohio. Really. So Jackie Moon makes a new stunt on Tropics Weekly because he's doing other stunts like jumping over ladies and showing. I think he striptease a little bit on halftime and what have you. So, but this time he's going to be wrestling a bear. So that evening, Jackie is there wrestling a bear, but he gets hesitant, and the trainer, played by Kristen Wiig, tells Jackie if he gets in trouble, he can say Spumoni. Spumoni! But, which he already does it without doing anything. So, yeah. Then Dewey the Bear starts attacking Jackie Moon. Bobby tries to save Jackie, and that's kind of a running gag. Like the bear keeps, in that movie, the bear keeps attacking everyone. You can see some Tex Avery-ish humor in this film. If you think about it, you could see that. So when the bear escapes, Jackie says, please leave carefully. There's a bear in the arena. And even if they did get 2,000 plus people in there, which I think they did, the American Basketball Association had an emergency meeting in New York. Despite all the things that they did, they realized Flint, Michigan does not really have much of the market there. They just didn't. So Flint Tropics won't be in the NBA. This was like Jackie Moo can't even save anything. And he says that I took Love Me Sexy from my mother. She wrote it on a napkin, and I can't do what I did. It's just over. But good news is Clarence, who's also known as Coffee Black, he is going to be on the San Antonio Spurs next year. And he even plays it on the final game against the Flint Tropics. But the Tropics are upset since the rest of the team has no future. Monix sees Jackie in a dumpster, and as he recuperates, he holds a team meeting, decides to have a last hurrah called the Mega Bowl. So that Saturday, Flint hosts the Mega Bowl against the San Antonio Spurs, which is, and even though Clarence is on the team, he's not really playing, and the Spurs are doing well on the first half. So, but it was when Jackie gets hit unconscious before the first half, just right before the first half, and Clarence decides to play for Flint in second because he knows that there's no I in team. And for a little while, Jackie is dead, and he gets to see his mom pay LaBelle, c'est quoi? It's dirty. How the hell you? Well, so Jackie's mom forgave Jack. So Pay LaBelle forgives Jackie Moon, and Jackie says, I threw up. And she says, I know, sweetie, I know. Well, it's better than the other concept of on my own, I'm on my own. With LaBelle and McDonald, Michael McDonald, what a fool believes, Michael McDonald. So, but Jackie's mom even mentions the alley-oop, which in the second half, they decide to do the alley-oop, which at one point many didn't understand, but it worked. So, at one point, Pat calls penalty, but he sees it as legal play. But Ed Monix sees that they're on to us, so let's not do the alley-oop because it's just too obvious. And Jackie winds up getting 2 free throws. He gets the first one, misses second, so Ed Monix saves the day with the winning basket. Move on up. That's what they're playing. So, We Are the Champions hasn't been made yet. So, the Flint Tropics win the final game. Clarence is back on the Spurs because they liked what he did on the Flint Tropics. Ed and Lim embrace as Kyle gets a little excited. I'm watching you do it. I'm watching you feel good. So, the commissioner asks Jackie to work for the NBA, even though the bear returns. Jackie does get the position. And in the end, Duke gets 23% of the $10,000. And he's like, bitchin', let's get tropical. For some reason, I do think about the Cleveland Cavs during the early 80s, even though they were an NBA team. But they might as well have been an ABA team. Ted Steiffen, he might as well have traded our players for a washer and a dishwasher. But again, Flint is not too far from Milwaukee, and the Bucks have won. And so I know somebody who is very gung-ho about that. And I'm sorry for you Suns fans from Phoenix. I know it's kind of difficult for you. And you have 4 teams, and you almost lost the Coyotes. You really did. So, but hey, also basketball's part of the Olympics, so I have not seen Chariots of Fire yet. I probably will soon, but that is it. That's it for our episode. So we're going to review Space Jam next week. The Michael Jordan one, the one with Bill Murray in it, and Wayne Knight, and Bugs Bunny. Well, Bugs Bunny's in both, but the Michael Jordan one. So I'm Paul Miscouline Warren, living in the city of Cleveland, in the state of Cleveland, in the United States of Cleveland. Now I just thought about my mom. Tomorrow would have been her 55th posthumous birthday, and I still miss you, Mom. Really, I do.